Is it time to start? Oh yeah, that's us.
There's something
There we go. All right, happy Valentine's. Welcome back. Yeah, Valentine for our linkage. This is like module 2. So nice timing. We're getting there. But you can design, like, depending on the length of how 4-bar linkages are, you can make all sorts of like different paths and cool motion. But before we get here of looking at like module 2 and constrained motion, we have, so there are 2 versions of quiz 1. The one that we made was in this section, our 10:10 a.m. But if you look at that and you're like, that's not what I agreed to, like I didn't want that. You can always look at section 2 and see what we came up with an hour ago, and you could do either one. Like, just choose one. Don't do both, I guess, is the main thing. Some people have turned in both, and it's like, it's just like, it's more work for you, and then which one do you want to count? And, yeah. Anyway, so that's quiz 1. It's up, ready to rock. And that one is Monday. Again, about set aside like half an hour of like, leave me alone, give me half an hour. I'm gonna do my dynamics quiz, and that should be enough time. If it takes 45 minutes, there's no timer, like no one's watching. What is the one that watches you? The Big Brother quiz taker. I forget. I've tried it before. It was way too creepy for me. It's like an AI camera that watches you take a quiz or a test, and then it notifies me like when you looked away from the camera. Like, that's way too much intrusive information for this process. So I like the recording of this is what I got right on the quiz. Like, this is what I feel confident about. It feels better to me. Sorry, was there a question?
No, I checked though. I was going to ask like if it was due at midnight, but that's what I saw.
Yeah, usually midnight. If Monday comes and weekend, like today's Valentine's Day, maybe you have plans, then maybe the weekend's busy, and then Monday, it's like, oh, I've got 8 hours worth of classes, I don't have half an hour. It's okay to say, like, put a note in there and say, hey, tomorrow, I've got some time, I'm gonna submit it then. And that's the same for all of the assignments. Good? Cool. All right, and that means we're wrapping up module 1 with a vision of the future. Like at the end of the semester, we have project 5, like the module 5, and this is to kind of get you thinking about what that's going to look like what's an idea or an application, or you can take this class and say, this is how I applied it to something that I think is important. My goal here is when someone, not that this happens very often, but someone looks at your resume and your transcript, and they flip through, and it's like dynamics. They're looking for an expert in dynamics, and like, oh, I see that you have an A in dynamics. What did you learn in that class? You don't have a boring answer of like, I learned a lot. I got an A. And it's like, all right, well, this person is very uninteresting, like piece of cardboard with a high GPA. Instead, you can say, well, actually, the interesting part of dynamics was I took 2 weeks to think about, like, what are the biomechanics of swimming? Like, when we get in the water, when we move ourselves forward, I wanted to dig a little deeper, because there's no way, you're not touching the ground in any way, so there's no normal force to actually propel you forward. So I looked at things about like, what are the drag coefficients on my hand versus my body, and how do I actually create forward motion in that underwater environment. And now the person's like, whoa, that's not a cardboard cutout of an engineer with a 4.0, that's a real person that can add value to our, like, the thing that we're trying to do. Like, it gives you some depth to your education. That's my goal for this project. So as deep as you want to take that, pun intended, for this swimming project. It doesn't have to be swimming, and it doesn't have to be a deep in the water thing. It can be something else. But that would be the ideal outcome of this class. It's like some kind of story that now you're prepared for that next interview in the cover of the magazine when you're on the cover of Science or People magazine. So how do we do this? We're trying to like apply new knowledge. Main place to start, at least where we've been starting almost all the problems, is like a free body diagram. What kind of forces do you think are important in this problem? What kind of motion do you expect? Like, what are you trying to think about with your problem? And then the main thing is like, is this, like, are you trying to apply it to a hobby or a career, or just like something that you noticed, like, this is just kind of cool? Like, I never noticed that, yeah, like my 6-year-old son always has like really like deep questions. Like yesterday, he's like, how come we can't just go see a giant squid? Like, well, they live really deep in the ocean. It's like, well, why don't we just like take a submarine? And he's like, submarines go deep. I'm like, well, they don't go that deep. It's like, how come? And it's like, well, because the pressure gets really high. It's like, well, what's the problem with that? I'm like, well, it starts breaking things. It's like, why? Why don't we just make it bigger? I'm like, well, then it's more complicated, more expensive, and harder, and it's still going to break. Like, so those kind of questions are kind of fun to explore, think about. But anyway, yeah. I'll stop here for questions, though. Sometimes there's like general questions, other time I like them, and then I walk around and try to figure out specific questions and ideas. Yeah.
So, what's sort of the expected length of the response? Is it just like a single page, or is it like a couple pages?
For this proposal?
Yeah.
This one you could fit all on one page. If you have like more details, then that's fine. But the level of expectation is sort of like identifying an idea of like what do you want to explore further, and in order to do that, what does it take? Like, what do you need to know more about? Some people kind of learn by writing. Like, they can like write out a few paragraphs of like, this is what I'm thinking, this is how it goes, draw a diagram. Others are sort of like, I don't know, maybe something like this, like throw something up there, see what sticks, and then we'll come back and try to like flesh it all out as we get back to it. 10 weeks, 8 weeks, I think 8 weeks now. What week is this? I think it's week 5 coming up. Cool. Do you use like AI, generative AIs yet? Not really. No. Sometimes it's like, it can be helpful, especially as like all right, I need an idea, like just give me something. So you could, like, if you want to start somewhere, we do have access to like, oh wait, wrong one. There we go. Have you tried Copilot at all? That's the one that, like, with our Yukon Microsoft accounts, it's sort of like the Microsoft ChatGPT. So if you want to try it, you can. If not, so in this case, like, how did you, this doesn't really know. How can you apply new knowledge in this module, so let's copy over what this module was about. Just paste this in there. Just give it some So I just pasted in like kind of the prompt of the project just to see like where does it take me? If an AI is like taking this class, could it come up with anything interesting? So this one said like designing prosthetics. That's one application of dynamics. And there, like what kind of prosthetic are you thinking about? A hand? Now we're talking about a lot of degrees of freedom. There's like a lot of motion going on versus a knee, which is only rotating, just 1 degree of freedom. Helmet design, impact forces, minimizing injury, glider flight motion. If you have a hobby, who has a hobby in biomechanics? Does anyone? This is definitely a robot answer, right? Like, if your hobby is biomechanics, you can tell it's like an AI generated response. Like, yeah, my hobby is concrete design. Like, that's a career. It's not like someone, you only get paid for that. It is like super interesting and cool, but if you're diving deep into like concrete mechanics, you should be getting paid for it. Like someone should be paying you for that. Versus like baking croissants. Like maybe you wanna make that a career, or maybe it's just like something you like. Like I like just making croissants. Maybe biomechanics could be a hobby. Building a robot arm for a personal project. This sounds like a Tony Stark. This sounds like an MCU sort of like personal project. Nobody has like the resources to build a robot arm for themselves. At least I don't. But anyway, that might be if you're looking for like how do I like troubleshoot some ideas. It's like no, those aren't can't spell today. You would say, no, I want dynamics of bicycling. And yeah, so it's doing this kind of stuff. Then what I did think was interesting, which maybe we'll enjoy, is I told it to draw me a free body. Like I took the prompt, we drew a free body diagram of a rocket. So I said, AI, draw me a free body diagram of a rocket. It was like staggeringly wrong. So yeah, let's see. Draw the free body diagram of a bike. And it takes a couple of seconds, but you can see like how far you've come versus how far AI has come. So while it's generating, check in. As long as it should be safe for work so far. I haven't seen anything not safe for work yet. Yeah, like all this. Oh yeah, you can't see, but the arrows are pointing in both directions, like all of them. It's kind of like, are you measuring something, or is it a forest? Like what is going on? What is IVC? And Framel force? Is that Framel? Framel? Maybe it's not safe for work. I don't know. Romal force, FD force, weight force, Romal force. There's a lot of Romal forces. I don't know what those are. So yeah, we're a lot better than this than robots, at least so far. So we're safe for now. But let me check in and see like what kind of ideas you have like initially, or if you have it more fleshed out. And I'll try to troubleshoot, ask questions that way. Yeah. I wouldn't start there though, that one looks like a little too complicated and not helpful. It seems like some of the forces everywhere is 0 at every point, because there's always an arrow in both directions. I don't know how helpful that is. Or do you have any? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, on joints. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
And I went back to sleep after my alarm. I was like, oh, I was like 9:30. I just all of these things.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like,
And then I woke up at 9:45. And that's when the issue started. But 9:30.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen the idea of like, yeah, like if you look into after I place to start,
And I didn't see the
similar
that.
idea.
I was just like actually quiet.
Yeah, they're meant to do stuff like that. Let me do training.
And this was like one day, 1:30. Okay, but I wasn't scared. Where God was giving you if anyone has brought I want to go back for a second.
that's why we're trying to
If you want to talk
I still want to go.
That was a good job. That was a good job. So they just
Is this fine? I'm practicing this. She said he's hang out tomorrow, just like text. No, this was, yeah, that means today. You have yesterday. Just text him, everything is good and stuff, and then he'll ask when he gets away. Then you can yeah, so wait for him to ask you, okay, back, then just be like, yeah, okay, like, I have no. She doesn't, I have a lot of things.
they get scratched, all scratched up.
Yeah, I hear. I guess that's what it feels like. It's like that's there. Did I tell you I was sober? I was sober.
That's crazy.
They have like this supercharged.
Yeah.
I
I mean, good for you. No, you're such a cute yes. Okay, guys, relax. One of the great.
That's really good. You're always holding it for
Guys,
sooner or later. It's gonna drop.
But like, yeah. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't even know how
Plans?
I'm gonna be on that place. Like, I'm just not lying. I fear I was just there. It's one thing led to another. Thursday's also so funny.
You should go.
No, when I get out.
Salads. I can't keep trying to. It's good. But salads, like, literally like the best pizza in the world. You know?
Yeah.
I like on the same street.
Okay.
Like the origin story.
My wife is from Long Island, so she has a into that pizza, so that's what she she goes there. Good, I don't know. New York is kind of like.
So yeah, take off my jersey and I was like, oh, I think I should practice more. It's true. I
don't.
So it's throw us out next.
And I should lock it.
Yeah, so just like throw us.
Yeah, I need your
I was wrong for 2 seconds. I would have figured it out. Because then it would have to be 3 minutes. Right. Well, what about like yeah. My friend that shows.
She was a shit show.
I had my yeah.
I literally like was finishing it.
But like for like 3 weeks, like the only
You know what's bad when everyone just was writing down something I was there. I was like, wait, I was like, yeah, one thing No, yeah. That's what was like, right, just like, well, I have nothing else. No, some people are dead for
yeah, yeah, so I can look at it and like,
Someone got shared, yes, but it was too false online. I was like, yes, I was like, oh.
That's one of our according to things that if you're looking for like speak it,
Oh my god, I had to look at it, and it was like 3x3, and I was like, what? I don't know. Partial credit will be my lifesaver. Caitlin is good. She had the flu last week, so she was in here for, she's like, I might be out. There's a thank you. You were just like on the top of the time, and when I met you, where's Caitlin at? She's like, yeah. I'm scared. That wind tunnel. So I don't know, I have to go. It's like you can do it the first time and then it's just like, and you can't, that's good. I get it. It's like a whole thing, and it's just like, come on. And I get stressed. I'm like, what am I stressed? I should relax. I should be relaxed, right? Just like that. I literally couldn't sleep last night. Yeah. I definitely would. I didn't even know that was hard. It just was like my exam first of all, and then I was technically it's kind of fake. Yeah. So I was supposed to like watch over them. I have to apologize for Tuesday. On the Thursday. Right, I was like, it is not serious. It's not crazy. We're not lit like that. Oh, I just read stations from class on Fridays. Like I should that just That's like your heart. Yeah, that's like my formula one. I really like the heart one. That's the bars. Did you see the bars? They haven't posted them yet, but wait. Don't put theirs first. Posted it then. I want my Instagram time to I'm gonna crash out tonight. I'm not even joking. It reminds me. Okay, this is the final product. Going with this option. Okay. That's a go. Okay. We'll think about it. I'm trying not to. Where's my phone now? Yeah, it's gonna be challenging. Me too. I just realized their idea. Yeah, we always like this for the problems. Sometimes I forget like this is just go Even if you send us, say hi, text me hi. No, they are recorded because that's not going to do a lot of yeah, like I think it's just yeah,
so like a spinning top. Flash.
Richard deep attention check. Attention check is crazy. No, because we make these videos and you're I just was there every time and like they're long videos, like 30 minutes. I like that. No, I like that. We really guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, those are
I literally Don't say the F. If you hear Peter, it's me. Yeah, like not with engine. Why is bicycle? So many years pro
Well, let's make you do your.
New Jersey. Exactly. No. But we did that one already. Yeah, find something to work I know you're like she's like, I'm writing that down for next class. She's like, you're a boy. They do it. Oh, I know, but that's not professional. Yeah, I think. Yeah, you would. Yeah. I have a life.
No, yeah. The class is supposed to, we spend like 6 to 9 hours on.
This is question about the next week, but it has both open water, or whatever, and then the first week water. There's like 12 stages in the morning. That was such a big problem.
Each one like 7 steps. So then you only got like the pressure, but you got the pressure and you get the temperature, so then you find the end goal.
I have to go to gym.
Yeah, I go for it.
If not, I'm gonna go. He hates you. I know that. But he was asking me as well. Dude, yesterday you don't want to these people here on
Photos.
They didn't even know yeah, and there's a good
I know.
I'm not talking about mine, but I've seen it around.
He lives
But he still doesn't come out. Like, that's the reason if he's like, I've seen something before, then I'll be, then he should like stay.
well,
What? Yeah. Not Avi, I've seen you did more than Isha. This semester. Two whole times. Your stage is good. I've seen Ethan more than Isha. Like once twice. And he was there until like yesterday. And like I've worked with him. They were still there with you. Yeah. We left at like 1:30. And they were all on 1:30 and they were there and he's like, yeah, for like 2 or 3 they were just like staring right. And I was like, do you not have work tomorrow? He's like, yeah. And I'm in work. No, I was asking him, I was like, did you enjoy it? What did he say?
Where's the word?
Bad. At this point, who doesn't look at eBad?
Yes, eBay, Collins.
Collins. IPX.
Or that's like the and so the same garage. Yeah.
Master Game.
Marty, right?
Oh, I was like, were you? I think we were making fun of me because I'm wearing a Master Game shirt. Were you there? I was an engineering student at university. Fair enough, yeah.
So you just gotta go and like
What are the skills at 31% communication? That's long.
25, so
20 mechanical engineers.
I'm connected to you.
I can do I just like it. But yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll give you a motivational talk if you ever need it. I would have done actually. I'm sad that those are freaky pictures. You see the freaky pictures? Yes, yeah, me and Sabrina. Oh my god, that's why we were so cute. And these are life ones, they're so the rest of and then Michael puts a bomb into chat and basically makes a fan fiction. So there's like two drivers, Sabrina and Hal. Like, so I was reading it and I was reading it out loud. He was reading it out loud, but he was just laughing, so no one could listen. She tagged me in it. Because I really think she's horror. She's like off, she like tagged me in the two. I just think it's funny. I just need everyone to like see it. And everyone to kind of the struggle with eating that hard. Like everyone's like fixing it. They're like, it's wrong. It's like, oh, it's we just laugh. It was so bad. Like my stomach was bursting ideas. We were like serious for it, and then we were just starting to find that we're just like,
anytime like she starts laughing, she's got a laugh.
it's a crime for you.
I do. I was thinking about
Like 4 or 5.
Okay. Oh, like trying to position. How do I design a control system that can work my system?
Well, that's
If I'm telling them they have to be those 3 points here, how close to landing to be this hallway. Have the rocket. One of the first elements like you can instantly change it. So no matter where you want to put your rocket, you say I can do that instantly. Compared to the total.
Wait, is that what you think? I think so.
no, that's really actually.
A different one. But like Giant Center has a couple of Diamond Center at 6 a.m. Okay, I was thinking. And then he would personally, why would anyone to do anything? Oh, I see. That's true, guys.
Yeah, that's
Oh, very You're just nonchalant.
That's another topic.
All our friends were like,
After, we talked to yeah, right, yeah. He was like, can we get another apartment? So I was like, tear that. My dogs.
we're taking for the party. So you have to go get like yeah. At least 3. How much is that in the 2 years? 3 the 3 years. Yeah, but it also gets nicer when it's like getting like March. But I would like ask in it. Because you need to get the because when we graduate, we gotta take the pictures. So that's important. And then I love him for that. But if we go reviewing, he's got it, yeah.
There's no other way.
It's Georgia.
I do.
I think that's not what a great class.
Sorry, didn't get back down here. How did it go?
Yeah, because I was brainstorming. Yeah,
Brainstorming's good. Yeah, we have a good crowd.
I was planning to do it at everybody diagrams courses.
Oh, yeah.
2 or 3 with the packet first and then maybe a shadow.
Like actual, like,
Yeah.
okay. General plan, your idea? All right, thanks a lot.